Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy whatever day it is. I don't even know what day it is. One of the weekdays. That's just how it shows you how my week and days just merge into one. So, wanted to get a quick live stream out here. We got 3 submissions. Just want to get them out the way since there's no video today. So, if you did submit, send your swing in within the past week, you're going to be out tonight. If you did not and you wish to get your swing reviewed, go ahead and submit your swing face on down the line like this gentleman did. The link is in the jot form below in the description, or you can go on any of my videos and see the jot form below. This is all free of charge just to help the community out. So first on the screen, we have Carl. All right, Carl, looks like a beautiful place to practice. Look at that range. It's like that's like heaven to me. Played since 2016, have been a Milo Lines online program last year, but needless to say, I don't have that swing yet. So that's a tough one to get. When I started, I bought Stack and Tilt to learn from, and along with a weekend course. Other than that, I just have a handful of lessons over the last 10 years. No particular range of motion issues. At 40 years, I start worrying about the strain I feel in my lower back. Yeah, you're right at that age where you just start to get some strain going on. I pulled my back last week picking up a watermelon. No golf for a while. No condition yet, but I feel like my current swing is super not friendly on the lower back. I miss all over the place, low point flipping issues. I can hit well for a few shots, but rounds normally end 90 to 110. My handicap is trending down from a 19. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the swing. So Milo Lines, that's Milo, out of all the gurus out there that we've done, that have done a evaluate the evaluator series, he's the only guy that actually does what he preaches. So kudos to Milo. Solid swing, solid player, but it is very unique and it is very hard to do. So I can see some evidence of a little Milo over here, except we're missing a couple of key elements I'm noticing on that left screen. So let's just look at this real quick, slow motion. If you do have any questions anytime, go ahead, submit. I don't expect a lot of people on the stream, being it's so late, and I just decided to do one. Oh yeah, there goes that dive. Okay, so I kind of see Milo-esque. We got that forward press, and then here's the dive. It's a little bit inefficient, and I can see why you're having some contact issues. You're putting a lot of pressure on your hands to kind of time all this up. So what we're looking for is basically how much you dive down. So we're going to draw a line up here, a line up here. We're also going to take a look at your spine angle to see if you're maintaining that spacing that's required. I'm not sure what club this is. That way, if you guys do submit swings, just go ahead and send me what club this is so we can make sure. I assume this is a very short iron just by the amount of forward bend you have here. That's close to 90. So I would assume it's a short iron. Let's look at the swing going on. And one more thing to check is this forward press. Oh, yeah, I can't get that line. So that's good enough. Look at that. It's pretty good, Gil. Man, we can see how disconnected that forward press is. So there's the shoulder tilt. So we do have a pretty decent amount of forward press. Not too bad, but it's not going to be able to allow you to sequence correctly. Let's take a look. So we go on the left side of the screen first, and there goes that dive. Yeah. Okay. So I see it already. So it's almost like Juju-esque on the right side. A little Juju, and then you're trying to turn it into Milo. It's a little long. Dropping it down. You do a decent job of dropping the slot, but here you've already lost it. So this club is going to trace below that plane line, and the hands have to get that club to work back around, but the tilting's not doing its job too. So look at the left side of the screen. One thing you'll notice is that forward press, that green line. So if you are a good golfer, and Milo Lines probably does this pretty well, which is what you're trying to emulate here, is watch this transition, left side. So we get that transition going. What you've done is you stabilized your whole spine angle to match that forward press. So you've done a pretty good job here. So if you take a look at where there is your stabilization, because your spine angle is basically matching that forward press. So you've done a good job. Now the problem is, in order to maintain, there's a thing called spin loft. Now spin loft is a very complicated thing that needs to occur if you are trying to attempt what Milo Lines does. And Milo Lines has the club head speed and the body manipulation to take advantage of spin loft. and it's basically your angle of attack and your dynamic loft at impact. Those two numbers, you minus one from the other, that's your spin loft. Now you can utilize this. The greater the gap becomes between your spin loft, between the differences, the more spin you can put on the golf ball, which is great for wedges. So this is why we see tour pros get a lot of that lower body diving ahead and just striking down into the ground with their tilt. Now, what you'll notice is you're going to have to level out your turn, excuse me, your centeredness here. So let's do a circle in blue. Okay, so we're going to put a little circle there. So right now you can see the centeredness of your circle is this green line because you've tilted this way. So you're swinging pretty far down there. The weighting is way ahead of the golf ball. And what you're going to see here is the ball position. Let's find a color for that one. Let's go orange. Now this is going to be a little bit trick because I can't get down there. Let's see if we could put the ball there. So notice where that ball position is. So your tilting is leaning ahead of your golf ball position. So that means your golf ball position is actually shifted to the right of your shoulder. Now, you can get away with this if you do what Milo does. And Milo drives his hips out this way and he maintains his tilting. So his right shoulder will tilt even further this way. So what he's doing is he's not going to shallow out his circle from our point of view with his hands and arms. He's going to shallow it out by maintaining that little relationship here, that hinge, and shallow it by tilting. If you don't tilt and you're not able to stay down even more and tilt your shoulders out ahead, that's shallowing this circle out. You only have one option, and it's to shallow it. You're going to release soon. So watch that right hand. The right hand's going to release too soon, and this is the only way you've been able to shallow it. So you shallowed it because if you didn't, you'd hit straight down to the turf. You break something, specifically your club or your wrists, and you're preventing that. So you're trying to get in these positions, but you're not quite getting there because you don't have Milo Line's ability. And here's a quick little example here. Look at that. And then we go back to your starting point. All right. And let's go back to the starting point. And so you've found a way to take that natural forward, that unnatural forward press and get rid of it all because you have to throw to shallow out your circle from the face on view. Now, I think there's a couple of things you can work on if you wanted to continue down Milo's path, except it's very hard to do. At impact, you would have to get your upper body to fall down even more, which means you'd have to bow down to strike that golf ball. So right in this position, your head height might have to be here. Your shoulders would have to be here. And your tilting now will have to increase significantly. So it would have to be at this point. Now what that's going to do is it's going to shove out your center well ahead of the golf ball so you can carry over that forward press that you would like to get the advantage of spin loft. And that is why tour pros are so consistent, because they generate correct spin loft for the club head speed. Now, if you don't have club head speed, you're going to lose all of it because you physically can't get in those positions. I don't know. I mean, that's just what I see. You do some pretty good compensations. It is what it is. It's very, handsy down at impact. And you can always tell how fast your hands are by going straight down into impact. And right there is impact. So we're going to draw that line, and it's doing a decent job of being connected to your center. But look how fast the hand is activating. It's already in your right shoulder, that release. And no, the frame before, it's outside of your left shoulder. So look at how much this club is moving within 2 frames. That's all hands because ball position's too far back. You've tilted too far into the golf ball, and you're not able to tilt more like Milo does. And you physically can't, because if you do, your hands will be so far out in front, you'll have to strike so far down that you'll break something. So right now, it's kind of like there's too many things going on, I guess. What's up, Doc? Late one, Tony. Yeah, I just saw the Dodgers win, put me in a good mood. And I got 3 people on the waiting list. I don't want to get to another 38 people on the waiting list, so we'll just bang it out. So I hope that helps you, Carl. Let me know if you need any clarifications. Let's see who is next. See ya. 2 more. And these streams are going to be a lot shorter, which is nice. I don't have to sit here for hours upon hours. All right. Next one, we got Rob. Okay, here's Rob. Only sent me 1 video, but let's take a look. All right, Rob, let's find your notes. 74 used to be scratch in the 80s. I played a Monday qualifier and played so bad I threw my clubs away and didn't pick them up till I was 65. Yeah, I hear that. I enjoy playing once or twice a week, but I'm on oxygen now, so I can only play 9 holes. That's too bad. I used to be a long hitter, driver 330. Now I hit my 5 iron 150. I'm pretty accurate. I'm hitting greens, but I'm pulling a lot of shots left. I've tried everything: ball position, swing path, spinning out. I know I pick up a little bit. I'm compressing the ball. My range of motion is pretty good. I just don't have the power anymore. My misses are usually on the fairway. But that's good. I'm pretty much straight. That's not bad. I mean, misses on the fairway to me, that's pretty decent. Basically, he just wants to see if there's anything that he can do to help with some distance and the pulls. Oh, good. We got face on and down the line. Okay. Let's zoom on in. Let's get a super close-up view. Okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, I can see that powerful setup he used to have. Okay, I see it. I hope you're not hitting that into your neighbor over there. That's a solid setup. Okay, yeah, I see. You can tell the setup is there. I mean, that was you can tell there was some distance back in the day, very centered setup. I mean, this is a very powerful setup, but the problem is the body just kind of giving up on you for that setup. So you might have to adjust some of these things for your setup. Let's see if we can slow this down here. Yeah, there's a little disconnection right off the bat. That's decent to there. Hands are getting up. Yeah, we're losing some tilting. We're coming on up to help the turn. So, and you can see the weighting is already shifting forward to your toes. So it looks like you're standing a little too far away, and then you get trapped from there. And once the weight's on the toes, that's very hard to go back to your original posture at this point because momentum's taking you there. And then we just fight this. Look at that though. That's a pretty good impact position there. So even though you're losing your weight that's stuck on the toes, you're still doing a good job of turning and tilting. I mean, look at this tilting. Though it's 74 years old, you're still doing a hell of a job there. And you can see here, let's go to right there. So yeah, you're still, I mean, you can see it. It's 20, 25, 26 degrees. I would say, honestly, just by looking at this, the setup looks like you're just too far away. And you might want to go back to kind of neutralizing this forward press because that's not really helping your cause here. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the lack of turn there, especially upper body. So upper body's not turning as much as we would like. Might be able to cheat the system there with the setup, but look at that. It's pretty good angle retention there. Yeah, but you're going to have to move your golf. You're going to have to move your center point a little bit too far up. So there's your center point now, right before you strike it. And then look where it started. So yeah, I'd say it's decent with a center point control. That forward press isn't hurting you as much as I thought it would. You're definitely moving that upper body over, and you're not losing it this way. At least you're carrying most of that angle, so you're still going to be striking down. I do like this swing. I think you can definitely pick up some yardages. I would focus more on this down the line view. So your setup, specifically this midway point. So we're going to draw your playing line here, and then we're going to draw some lines. Now, obviously, it's not easy to maintain these lines, but this will just kind of show you where things go a little bit out. So this is the old setup, the old power setup, and you can see it's slightly, you're definitely a little bit more of the upper body over the toes. So it is already toe based. Now, when it's toe based, some people will take their club much higher because the turning and tilting will be more dominant over the turn because you're already set your weight up the toes. Now, do we do that? That's the issue. When we take that club up, you see there goes the hands up, but they're going up by the reduction of the tilt. So the tilt is being lost right away. And I believe that's to help you turn more. So now you're trying to get, to your body to turn by losing that tilting. And then you get to the top. And because you come out of your pot, because that left shoulder comes up, it's also going to raise your whole body up. Now, when it raises it up, you're going to start to fall towards your toes. So we start to lose our body towards our toes now. Now, look, we've already lost a pretty good chunk of our setup. So there's our new setup. So you notice how you just kind of coming on in and up. That's going to be very hard to recover from that. I mean, you're going to have to find a way to go back to your heels and go back down, turn and tilt to accommodate that forward press too. I just don't see it happening. So this is the unfortunate part where a great player in his day, hits it a ton based on that setup, is probably setting up the same way that he used to do, 40, 50 years ago when he hit it a ton, but the body's not keeping up with that. And it's part of the game. It's part of the thing we have to do. So I would just encourage you, go to this impact position here, maybe set up like this. So it's a little bit taller. The arches of the heels more under the hips, right? Because they're going to find the hips anyway. So look at that. And that might actually get your plane line to be a slight bit. It might actually be right there too, but at least that might get your plane and everything to be more connected. And then you don't have to lose any posture. You can focus on staying balanced. And when you have balance, now you can turn more, but you can also cheat the system. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of this being a good player. Just close the stance down. I mean, pull that right foot back, close the hips a little bit, close the shoulders a little bit to make that club get deep enough. Let's just make sure if it gets deep enough. Yeah, it's not deep enough. So look how out it is already. Part of that is moving this way and not being able to turn a lot. So if you get your centeredness sorted out where it's more over the arches, you close everything up, you can get the club a little bit more deeper. That'll help you not be so stuck on your toes. If the club doesn't get deep enough, it's going to pull you to your toes anyway. So a lot of this has become toe-based, and once you're toe-based, it's very, very tough for you. But other than that, I think you've got a really good swing. It's unfortunate time has taken your swing away from you, but you can get some of it back. Just make those setup changes. I'm a huge believer setup changes can assist you. Thank you for your service, by the way. I see that hat. Appreciate all that you've done for us. It's my pleasure to help you out, Robin. If you need any questions answered, just shoot me a email, or you can just leave a comment down below. But I hope that helps you. Let me see who's next here. I got a comment too. I got to pick up. 1 second. 1 second, Victor. Let me get to you. Let me find the third one. Look how quick the stream's going tonight. Only 3. It's better than 39. All right, there's 1. There's 2. Okay, we got 2 down the lines. Let's zoom in so we can give you guys a good chance to see. That looks like Rancho Park, but I know that range is not Rancho Park, so it's probably not. Victor, how do we send in a video? Victor, if you go on the link on this video, excuse me, the description, there's a link to a jot form. You just fill it out, upload a face on down the line. Any notes you have, submit it. It'll go on in a little list. Glad to let you know that we are only, after tonight, we have 0 on the list. We were up to 36, and I did a full week of live streams to get caught up. So now we're doing our usual once a week or until they fill up of 6. But I just thought I'd do it tonight because Dodgers won. Let's go Dodgers. All right, let's see the notes here. Let's close this out. So hope that helps you, Victor. This is Jeremy. I've been playing 3 times a week for the last 6 months. I started off at a 25 handicap and now down to 27. And now down, and now I'm up, I guess it should say, 27. Wow. I'm an athletic person who's never been bad at any sport but this one. I just can't do it. I'm so inconsistent in my shots. My driver naturally starts off straight with a severe slice at the end or a pull hook. That means path is moving pretty hard left, and either the club face is open, giving you a need to further miss right, or you double cross yourself and you start pulling it to Mrs. Havenkam's pull. They're normally pretty straight for the irons, but severely pull left every now and then. I just have no idea which way they're going to come off the club. On YouTube, I'm Jenna Dabo. You asked me to send a swing for you from one of your live streams, so here it is. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for the submission, Jeremy. Got him. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing good, Dustin. How about you? This is the last one. It's going to be a quick stream tonight. All right, let's take a look at Jeremy. Okay. Let's look at that driver first. Oh, yeah. See disconnection already. Too bad there's no face on. Face on will really help. It looks like that ball position is too far up. I know it's on a tee, but I think that ball position is too far up. So, which will cause him to open up his shoulders. His shoulders are slightly open. Let's see how he recovers. Some rolling already. When you roll, you start losing tilt, and you can also extend that turn because you don't have anything to hold you back. So look how far the arms go. We got a flying elbow, which obviously you can't play very well, but that flying elbow has to tuck immediately in that transition, or else that club's going to be stuck. Does it tap in? It does, but it's also turning as well. So we're doing a whole piece. So our body is turning while the right elbow is trying to tuck, but it's too late. They're disconnected. So when they're disconnected, you're going to be very steep. And then all of a sudden, You're going to get your hands to play catch up because look how wide open the body is and the arms are way behind the game. So either you slow it down to time the hands to flip, or you need to be like LPGA Tour players and just keep rotating and not stop the rotation, which we kind of do, but then we start to stand up to at least get some ground force and try and jump at the golf ball. So look at our impact. We're almost as straight as a book, and that's very hard. So there's your impact posture, and you take a look at where you started. So anytime you start changing your impact position to this degree, there to there, motion is going in, not necessarily around. Around will help you maintain that posture. Good weight distribution will help you maintain that posture. Keeping things more connected with your hands and arms will make you hold that posture. But then, this here too. It's okay to lose a little spine angle, or excuse me, shoulder tilt. Yeah, it's just too many things. And that club gets pretty decent. I'd say it gets decent in terms of the depth. Let's do a little depth check real quick. So we're looking for at least a minimum to be kind of in the center of your hub, right where that little star is. Let's see if we get there. So it gets there right about here, and then it starts to trail back. That's not bad, but it's just too long. It's too long, and then immediate rotation. You could get away with this if you were to reconnect your hands initially, that first move, straight down to reconnect them. And then once they're reconnected, then you start your rotation. That's very, very hard to do because it's just such an unusual rerouting, specifically at transition. Good players, when they transition, they're still turning their upper body while their lower body's already transitioning. So it's hard to stop rotation from the top, especially when you have reroutes. Unless your reroute is built so much into it, like Jim Furyk. He has a huge amount of reroute, but you take a look at Jim Furyk, you take a look at how much his body's open. I mean, his body's like this at impact, kind of like an LPGA player, because he has to. The hands fall behind the body so much. It's only one way to get to the golf ball is to rotate as much as you can. And we're not really that gifted, most of us. And then the shaft humping. So it's a shame you didn't give me a face on. Like, face on is what we need. So if you want to resubmit this, because I have a huge suspicion that ball position might be playing a big part in this. And once that ball position's different, you're going to find a way to hit that ball. And it might be a little bit unusual to get to that ball. So you might be sacrificing positions from an already strange, let's not say strange, already unusual top position. And I'm not saying unusual doesn't work. Hey, you can practice this and learn how to reroute, and you might be pretty good. But the odds of you rerouting the same way with your whole body crashing into the golf ball is very, very tough. So I would like a resubmission, Jeremy. Make sure you send a face on. Now, face on is where the camera's facing you. So I can see ball position. I can see that center point. I can see how far the hands are going back. We can see sequencing. We can look at your tilting and how that tilting's being used correctly. I don't know how much tilt you have here. Let's take a look at this tilting change. It would be surprising if you can get the tilting you need. So let's take a look. We have 34. Yeah, you don't see much tilt increase. So you're going to have 10, 12 degrees. And it can't. I mean, when things are going this way, you can't go this way and this way unless that looks like some sort of 70s dance. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I think I slipped a disc. All right, but send me a face on, because I think we can definitely open up another Pandora's box for you. All right, Jeremy. Hope that helps you. But that's it. 3 submissions down the pipe. If you need yours submitted, give me a review, help you guys out. Link is in the description below. I try and do these once a week, or when they filter 6. I just went today, said, you know what, no video dropped today, so let me do a live stream for everybody. But I hope that helps you. Thank you. Signed up for Doc. Their spot's still there. It's on a timeout right now. You've got 60 days to get me your swing. 60 days, Doc. The clock starts now.